January is a quiet time for weddings and events. I'm married, I've got a 2-year-old, and I also work full time, so I can't just sit and wait for clients to come in through word of mouth. This year, I decided to try something intentional. I've heard mixed things about Bark. I've heard some people say it's a scam, I've heard some people say it works for them. I decided to try it for myself. This is my experience. Okay, so let's get into it. But before we start, just want to say that this isn't my first experience with Bark. I've used Bark previously as someone looking for someone to do jobs for me, but workman stuff. And I think I did look at it for my engagement photos. But that aside, that was years ago. In December of 2025, I decided to sign up as a professional on Bark. Around that time, they were running a promotion, so I think I bought a starter pack, which gave me 160 credits. And the original price was £240. I paid £140 plus £28 VAT, which is a total of 168, and used that between December 29th and January 20th of 2026. With that, I used the 160 credits to contact 15 leads. Just a bit of background if you haven't used Bark before. I have. I used it as a customer, so someone looking for someone to provide services. This was years ago. It was for, I think, some gardening or plumbing services, and possibly might have put in for one photography service. But I'll go on the website and show you how it works. So you have on here, so customers tell us what they need. So essentially, you sign up for Bark with you sign up for a professional profile, and then you fill in details of the services that you provide. Bark will then send you leads based on those profiles. You buy credits to contact those leads, and up to 5 professionals can contact one lead. So once 5 have contacted the lead, there's no more professionals that can contact the lead. So that gives you sort of a 20% chance that you might be able to secure the lead. On top of that, they encourage you, so they as Embark encourage you to be the first person to make contact with the lead, just because obviously usually people tend to go with the first person that they speak to if you're, sort of on the cheaper side. But that does mean that you'll probably end up sitting and looking at your notifications quite often as they pop up, just so that you can be the first to contact the leads when they do come in. There is also an elite subscription here that you can. What it does is, so you get 2 free leads per week. You have 20% off credit packs, verified status, and then obviously there's other things included in it that may be able to help you secure a lead rather than just using your credits. So this is in addition to the credits that you buy. It's not just you buy, you pay for the subscription and you get, to respond to an unlimited amount of leads or a certain amount of leads. This is in addition to the credits. What I have noticed is that also some leads can, as well as you contacting leads, some leads can contact you directly to ask you for a quote. So on Bark, they'll see your profile, and then going through your profile, they can see there's a button for request a quote. When that happens, you'll get a text message from Bark, which will link back to your website, and then you can respond to them through that if you have enough credits. So essentially, that's how Bark works. You sign up, you then buy credits, use the credits to respond to the leads, and then that's when Bark's responsibility is done. And then after that, it's down to you to secure the booking. As well as that, I know that Bark do offer, if you do finish your credits, your initial, so when you sign up your starter pack, if you do finish that without securing any leads, they do allow you a refund of credits to be able to try and resecure. I had a conversation with an agent who I spoke to when I first signed up for it and hadn't bought the credits yet. And she told me that they do that to try and help people to, encourage people to stay on the website. I'm not sure what happens after the first time you get a refund, whether if you don't manage to secure it, if they keep, refunding you until you do secure something. I don't imagine they do, but who knows? I can't confirm that. And then lastly, about how it works. I've noticed that sometimes you might need more credits to respond to a lead when they request a quote from my experience. So as you can see on here, where is it? Yeah, I've seen my 15, 16 credits for some things, whereas a lot of the rest are like 11, 12. And I feel like the 15 and 16 were more for the ones that I responded to quotes. I don't know if that's actually right or I can't confirm it, but from what I saw, I feel like that's might have been what was happening. Out of the 15 leads, well, 16 leads, yeah, because Bot gave me one free lead. So out of the 16, 8 did not pretty much ghosted me from the start. Even though I did follow up with like text messages and then wait for like a couple of days or a week before also following up again. Once it got to like a second follow up, I left it. The 8 that did respond, but I sent pricing and most of them went quiet. I know. What Box says is that when you make that initial contact, try and phone them as soon as you see the lead. So you're sitting on your phone waiting for a notification to pop up. You see a notification, you press it, you read through, you think, okay, yeah, I want to contact them, press it. Press the yes, I want to make contact lead, and then they show you their phone number. You can contact them through the app with a text message, but they encourage you to phone them straight away to try and secure the lead. In my experience, obviously that didn't work because pretty much everyone that I tried to contact, tried to phone, didn't answer, and then also did not call back or see my message and call back. And for me, that was a bit out of my comfort zone because I'm not one to be on call strangers essentially. Even sometimes I think as human beings, when you see a phone number that you don't recognize in your phone pop up, you tend to just look at it and just let it ring out. So it's fair play. Yeah. I would say though, I did manage one. I managed to book one. The one that I did book, what happened? So I initially contacted them in December. I think they were one of the first people that I tried to contact with. Phoned them, no answer, then followed up with a text message. I didn't hear anything from them. And then in the early part of January, I did another follow up. So I think I contacted them in like the last close to New Year's, and then followed up in early January just to try and see if it might have been in New Year's. Sometimes people are busy in New Year's. They did respond to me with my second follow up. I then asked for a phone call. We got a phone call in and spoke about she told me why she had it contacting me, and then spoke about what she needed for her booking, which is a wedding. And then it was a Friday, so she said that she was speaking to another photographer and would let me know by the end of the weekend. Nothing came in. So I think a week or two later, I decided to follow up again just to see whether she went with the other photographer or, she just hadn't decided anything. We had another conversation where she had been busy because in our initial conversation, her daughter wasn't well. So I also took that into consideration. That's why I waited for like close to 2 weeks before contacting her. And yeah, managed to secure that booking. It's a wedding in May. It's sort of it's, yeah, I can't really describe, I'm not going to describe the kind of wedding, but it's a wedding, but it's not a wedding. So it actually is a wedding and a birthday all in one. Yeah, but yeah, I secured it. Part of the reason I secured it was because I'm local to them, and also, I guess with what I showed them, there was one request from her husband that there's no post photos, and my style is quite very much candid, so that worked well. Yeah, and I managed to secure it and more than double my investment. So great things. A couple things that I've noticed that were a bit funny to me. So I think I showed it before. Obviously, the 2 credits to reply to the customer. I think that was taken because I used the Bark SMS function to reply to someone that I had replied to initially already and was doing a follow up through the Bark SMS text. I can't confirm whether that was what that was for, whether that is right or no wrong. I don't know, but that's my assumption why that 2 credits went away. That leaves me now with 5 credits, so I have 5 credits sitting there that I can't use because most of them are above 5 credits. Um, what else? So realized that I got more requests for quotes. So as well as making direct contact through Bark as a professional, sometimes clients can request quotes, and I realized that I got more quotes coming in once I stopped being so active on Bark. Whether that's because obviously January people were kind of chilling out and now people are looking for photographers for events for later in the year, or that's Bark trying to entice me back onto the website. Again, I can't say, I don't know. Other thing is that so with your profile, people can view your profile, and when people view your profile, Bark sends you a notification saying that someone's viewed your profile and they want you to contact them. This is very misleading because there's been, I think some of my credit went towards those kind of leads where Bark said someone's viewed your profile and they want you to contacted them and didn't get, any response. So I think it's misleading because it's just someone browsing and not really it's not that they browse because they want you. They're just looking at who's on Bark. Another thing is that you can input. So as you Bark's remit is pretty much once you make contact, they give you the contact details to contact them, and then that's it. Everything else, you go on the website and you can update the status of that. So whether it's pending or it's booked or you archive it. One time I did accidentally change my settings of one lead from pending to booked and then changed it back. And when I saw my profile, I saw that I had one booking, which was not right because I hadn't booked anything yet. So I think sometimes some professionals might, set things to booked or when they haven't booked things to make sure that, their numbers look higher than the booking numbers look higher than they are. Again, I can't confirm that, but from my experience, you can kind of, I guess, mess with the system a bit. Another thing, so credits, you can get credits refunded. So my starter pack, when I initially signed up for Bark before buying the starter pack, I got a call from an agent who told me that Bark helps photographer service professionals in the way that if you run out of credits and you haven't secured a booking with your initial pack, they give you a refund and then they'll call you and talk through what you did and see how they can help you to secure a lead. That is very useful, and I guess that shows that they're not trying to scam people out of their money. But obviously, my experience wasn't that because I'm secured a booking and I have 5 credits sitting there, so I haven't run out of credits to know that what would have happened after. And also, yeah, that's it. So I think bot isn't a scam. I just think you need to manage your expectations for, when you go on it, you're probably not going to get, the high luxurious weddings and events and stuff. Saying that, I only did leads for weddings and some, I think, general photography work. It wasn't for anything commercial or events. So a few things that I've learned from my experience. Number one, my comfort zone. As I said, making phone calls to try and secure leads, cold calls is not my forte. It pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I guess I need to do a bit more of that. So that's a good lesson to learn. Number two, follow-up systems. So with the way that it worked, I worked on my follow-ups. So what I put in the system to try and have something there where I know what I'll say once someone hasn't, replied, or if someone does reply, how I follow up. So putting that system together to try and obviously in future, either on Bark or off Bark, I can use that to help secure bookings. The third, and that includes also setting up templates. Yeah, what I was trying to say is I set up templates to work on follow-ups. The third thing is pricing. So price clarity. I think before this, I wasn't really clear with my pricing, and it's taught me to kind of set up my pricing. So I have my pricing structure from this experience, and I'll use that from now onwards. Another thing is, so the lead types, as I said before, that I think if you're using Bark, you should manage your expectations to more price sensitive clients. So you might want to just adjust your pricing to be, more geared towards the budget seekers, if that makes sense. And then the last thing, obviously, that this experience, I guess, for me wasn't about Bark itself, but more about learning systems and how systems can help, obviously, me, us, anyone manage things. And so the value in this wasn't about the booking, it was more about the building a reputable system that I can use for Bark, for other, outside of Bark, to secure bookings, and just working on something that you can kind of repeat and rinse and repeat, and it helps save time, essentially. And as someone that's busy with family, with work, with study, it's very useful. It's very useful. You're probably wondering, am I going to continue using Bark? The answer is not for now. I don't think it's a scam, but I don't think that I would invest as much as I need to secure more bookings. So I think from time to time I will dip into it to see if it works better for me. But for now, no. Pardon? Sorry. So what I might try is going back onto it, using the subscription for a month or so and see how that works, as well as adjusting my pricing to see if that helps. If you want me to try that, let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I will, if you want to see the templates that I've used for my responses and follow-ups, let me know. I can put it together in a document and then probably put a link in the description for you. Drop comments if you want that, and I'll sort that out. Anything else you want to know, drop a comment and I can tell you more about my experience, or, if you want to start using Bark, I can help. Other than that, if this video gave you some insight or some useful insight, please consider sharing or coming back again to see this mug. I am sharing my experience as a family man who works full time and is building a creative business in the UK. See you next time. Bye.